Welcome back. Let's do question 6a. You invest into two different investment schemes for a period of 5 years. Let's just read everything. Investment 1, you place 3,500 into an investment at the end of each month. Interest on this investment is 15% per annum compounded monthly. Right, what type of investment is it? This is a future value annuity because the payments are done every month. So this is an annuity. Okay, future value annuity. Investment 2, you make a deposit of 24,000 immediately and then only make a second deposit of 7,000 into the same account at the end of the third year. Timelines will assist us when we do this. Interest on this investment is 20% per annum compounded quarterly. The interest is the same throughout for the whole 5 years, so this should be easy. If you combine the value of your two investments at the end of the 5-year period, then what is the value of this lump sum? Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Let's start with investment 1. We have to find the future value for investment 1 and also find the accumulated amount here for investment 2, and then we add them. Okay, let's start with investment 1. If you want, you can list your information, but what we have here, we have the installment, which is the x. Let's start by writing the formula. Future value is equal to x, then 1 plus I to the power n minus 1, all this over I. Right, so our x is 3,500, our I is 15%, so 0.15 divided by 12. Then what will be n? N will be 5 times 12, because how many payments will be done? N is the number of payments. So in 5 years, there'll be 60 payments if payments are done monthly. Okay, let's substitute what we have, which is 3,500, and then 1 plus our I will be 0.15, or you can use 15% as it is, divided by 12 because it's compounded monthly. And then 12 times, or 5 times 12. 5 times 12 minus 1, or you can just write 60 there. All this over 0.15 divided by 12. This is fine. After substituting, you can put this whole thing into your calculator as it is. You can just put this thing in the calculator as it is, and then you must get your future value, which is equal to 310,000, 10 rand, then 7771. We'll run off to 2 decimal places at the end. Right, that is investment 1. Let's look at investment 2. You make a deposit of 24,000 immediately. So there's a deposit. Let me draw the timeline here. So we have a deposit of 24,000, and then only make a second deposit of 7,000 into the same account at the end of the third year. So we have year 1, year 2, year 3, and then we add another 7,000. This will be 3 years. And then interest on this investment is 20% per annum compounded quarterly. So we want to find A here at the end of 5 years. Right, and then the interest is the same throughout. Right, it's 20% per annum compounded quarterly. So we have the 24,000. I prefer this method. I'm not going to do all the options. I'll just stick to this one. You do each transaction independently. Like we have the 24,000. So 24,000 is going to be in the bank for 5 years. So it's going to gain interest for 5 years. This is 5 years. Plus the 7,000 is going to be in the bank for 2 years. We just do this once. We're using our formula A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power n. And so we have A, which is the 24,000 one, 24,000, and then 1 plus, and then the interest rate is 20% per annum compounded quarterly. So it's 0.20 divided by 4 because compounded quarterly for 5 years. So it's 5 times 4. That's the 24,000 done for the whole 5 years. Then plus the 7,000, which is going to be in the bank for 2 years. Then 7,000, then 1 plus 0.20 20/4. And then for 2 years, it's going to be 2 times 4. And then you just put this thing in the calculator as it is. Okay, what does it give you? A is equal to 74,021 rand, then 33303. We'll round off at the end. So now, what is the total amount? Because we're asked to find the total amount. If you combine the value of your two investments at the end of the 5-year period, then what is the value of this lump sum? Then we find the total, which is 310,010,771 plus 74,021,33303. Then add this, what you get? 384,032 rand, then 1101. Then two decimal places. So this is 384,032 rand and 11 cents. Remember, money always must be in two decimal places. You can leave it as one decimal place, always. Even if there's one decimal place, let's say you get 2,5. You can't leave it like that. You have to put a 0 there, so that it becomes 250. Let's do question 6b1. To start your ice cream business, you take out a loan for 250,000. The bank offers an interest rate of 10% per annum compounded monthly. How much should you pay each month if you would like to pay the loan off at the end of 10 years? If the first payment is made at the end of the first month. Like, this is a normal annuity when it comes to the present value annuities, because you take a loan and then you pay after a month. Okay, because you cannot take a loan now and start paying now. You have to pay after a month. So it's a normal one. I want us to discuss this. How do you tell that you have to use the present value annuity formula or the future value annuity formula? That when it comes to the loans, so we have to use the present value formula, right? Because we get the lump sum now, and then we start paying what? Installments at regular time intervals, like monthly, yearly, weekly, or something like that. But future value annuity is for the savings. You pay monthly installments, or weekly installments, or yearly installments, so that you have the lump sum in the future. So when it comes to the loans, remember, you use the present value formula. You get the lump sum now, and then you start paying for it till the loan is amortized. Let's write our present value formula. All right, if we check our information, we have our present value, which is 250,000. We have I, which is 10% per annum compounded monthly. And then we're going to find the n because we're given that is 10 years. So it's going to be 10 times 12 is compounded monthly. So it will be 10 times 12. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the monthly installment. We're looking for X. So what you do, substitute 250,000 is equal to X, and then 1 minus 1 plus 0.10 over 12 because it's compounded monthly. Then minus to the power 10 times 12, which is 120. Or you can write 10 times 12 is still fine. Over 0.10 over 12. And then we can do things differently here, but I prefer this one. Some people can multiply 250,000 with this denominator, but what you can do, you can put this in the calculator. You can put this in the calculator, okay? And then what you get, 250,000 is equal to, this whole thing will give you 75,67116337. Don't round off during calculation, so write the whole number. Right, and then what you do, you can divide by this on both sides of the equation. So 250,000 divided by 75,67116337 will give us X is equal to 3,303 rand 768422 before rounding off. Then X is equal to 3,303.77. Let's do question 6b2. To start your ice cream business, you take out a loan for 250,000. The bank offers an interest rate of 10% per annum compounded monthly. Part 2 says, if you decide to pay 6,000 per month, only starting at the end of the second month, you have to take note of this. 6b1 said, if the first payment is made at the end of the first month. What's the difference between these two? End of first month and end of second month. Then says, then how many payments will be needed to pay off the loan? So you have to take note of this. For a normal present value annuity, you take a loan, this is the loan amount here, and then you start paying after 1 month, if you're paying monthly. Okay, so installments will start here, right? So now, in this situation, 6b2, you take a loan now, and then first month, there's no payment. There's no payment here. And then you pay at the end of the second month. So it means your loan amount must gain interest for 1 month so that you can get your new loan amount here. Let me call it PV, and then 2 here. This is P1. So this is the loan amount now after it has gained interest for 1 month. Then you start the payment here in the second month. Okay, so we have to get this first, and then after that we can calculate our number of payments to be done. Okay, let's start by getting this amount. So we're saying A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power n. Right, we're looking for our PV2, which is A, then 250,000, then 1 plus is gaining an interest of what? Of 10% per annum compounded monthly. So it's going to be 0.1 over 12, and then 1 month. So it's just 1 there. And then we get that, which is our PV2 here, is equal to 252,083 rand, then 3333. Don't round off. Right. So it means the loan amount now is no longer 250,000. It's now 252,083 rand and 33 cents. This is what happens in real life. Sometimes you find they say you can take a loan and then you start paying after 3 months, or take a car and then you start paying after 3 months. During that time, during those 3 months, the loan will be gaining interest. Remember that. These are called delayed payments. During the grace period there, money will be gaining interest. Your loan will be gaining interest. Right now, you'll be owing 252,083 rand and 33 cents. It's no longer 250,000. Right now, what are we looking for? If you decide to pay 6,000 per month, then how many payments should you make to pay off the loan? So we go back to our present value formula. PV is equal to X, which is the installment, and then 1 minus 1 plus I to the power negative n, all this over I. Let's do the substitution. So it's now 252,083 rand, 3333. Go to 6,000. 6,000, that's the X. And then 1 minus 1 plus, then 0.10 over 12 to the power negative n. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for n, right, over 0.10 over 12. Now, what can we do here? We can do things differently here. Someone can decide to divide 6,000 by 0.1 over 12, or I will multiply these two. I will multiply 252,083 rand 33 cents by 0.1 over 12. So what do I get? I'll get 2,100, 69444 is equal to 6,000, and then 1 minus 1 plus 0.10 over 12 to the power negative n, right? Then divide by 6,000 on both sides of the equation. Divide this by 6,000. You get 0.3501157,407 is equal to 1 minus 1 plus 0.1 over 12 then to the power negative n. Then subtract 1 from both sides of the equation. Get negative 0.64988 42593 is equal to negative 1 plus 0.10 over 12 to the power negative n, right? Then negative and negative will cancel each other out. We remain with this as positives, right? Now we can change then from exponential form to log form. If you're changing from exponential form to log form, the exponent is the subject. So negative n is equal to, and then log, then this is the base. This whole thing, you can put it as it is, 1 plus 0.10 over 12, that's the base, and then the number, use 0.6498842.593. Remember, you're using this function in the calculator. There's a function like this. You can use this function. Put your base here, put your number there, okay? But if you want, you can say log this number, log 0.6498842.593 divided by log this, then you get your answer. Then we have negative n is equal to negative 51,93050181. How many payments would be made to pay off the loan? So it means we have to make what? And should be 52 payments. All right. But if you check, it means payment number 52 will not be 6,000. It's going to be less than 6,000. But you're asked how many payments. Okay, so there'll be 52 payments. Although the last payment will not be 6,000 because of this 51,93. Okay, so there'll be 52 payments done to pay off the loan.